Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a true classic, the ancient Panchatantra tale of the jackal and the drum. But we're not just going to read you a story. We're actually going to look at it through a modern psychological lens, exploring fear, perception, and the sheer power of logical thinking. It's honestly mind-blowing how a story that's thousands of years old maps perfectly onto our everyday modern anxieties. So let's jump right in. Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this for a second. Have you ever been totally spooked by a sound you just couldn't identify? Maybe you're home alone at night, everything's dead quiet, and suddenly a weird noise comes from the other room. Your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, and your brain instantly jumps to the absolute worst-case scenario. You're just paralyzed. That primal fear of the unknown is literally hardwired into our human DNA. And that exact feeling is what our protagonist is dealing with today. Section 1. Fear of the unknown. To really get this story, we first need to understand the biology behind it. As the text here defines it, fear is a natural emotion triggered by an unknown or potential threat. When we encounter something we don't understand, like a sudden noise or a weird shadow, our brain's alarm system, the amygdala, just goes off. It floods our body with adrenaline. It doesn't care about logic. It only cares about survival. It's basically screaming, "We don't know what that is, so assume it's going to kill us." This primal knee-jerk reaction sets the stage for everything that happens next. Section 2. Gomaya Jackal's Search. I want you to really picture this scene, because the environment is totally crucial to understanding the psychology here. Our jackal, Gomaya, has wandered way out of his comfort zone. He steps out of the safety of the thick jungle and finds himself right in the middle of a deserted battlefield. Dust is blowing, the eerie remnants of a recent brutal war are scattered everywhere. It's dead quiet and incredibly creepy. This is completely unfamiliar territory, which would instantly put anyone's nervous system on high alert. So why is Gomaya's mind basically a powder keg just waiting to explode? Look at his situation. First, he's extremely hungry, and we all know how being hangry messes with our ability to think straight, right? Second, he's out of the jungle, meaning he's totally exposed and far from his safe space. And third, he is completely alone in this creepy battlefield. This mix of vulnerability, exhaustion, and an unfamiliar environment literally primes him for a panic attack. All it takes is one tiny spark to push him over the edge. Section 3. Mystery of the Frightening Sound. Now, what's really interesting about this part is that we, the audience, get to see the actual science behind the scare. While Gomaya is completely terrified, we can see exactly what's going on. Step 1. Strong winds sweep across the desolate plain. Step 2. Those winds caused the low-hanging branches of a nearby tree to aggressively rub against a massive abandoned drum left behind by the army. Step 3, this friction produces a bizarre, terrifying, booming noise. It's just simple mechanics, no monsters, no enemies, literally just wind, wood, and leather. But Gomaya doesn't know the physics of it. He just hears this terrifying boom. Look at his reaction. If I can't escape from here, I'll be in deep trouble. This is the classic worst-case scenario mindset. He doesn't investigate. He doesn't pause to think. His brain instantly invents an invisible, deadly enemy that's out to get him. His fight-or-flight response has been totally hijacked, and he is 100% ready to hit the road and flee. Section 4. Flee or investigate. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate battle between our emotional brains and our logical brains. On one side, the choice is running away without thinking, just surrendering to blind panic. It's the easy way out, but it guarantees he stays hungry and terrified. On the other side is the harder choice, using logic to find the source of the noise, taking a deep breath, pushing past the terror, and actively engaging the rational mind to gather information. This right here is the crossroads where Gomaya's entire future is literally on the line. Then, he has this massive breakthrough moment. He realizes fleeing without knowing is foolish. I must find the source of this noise. This is a huge mental shift. Gomaya is physically wresting control back from his panicked amygdala. He shifts from emotional, knee-jerk fear to logical, deliberate courage. He acknowledges the danger, he decides to be careful, but he absolutely refuses to let ignorance dictate his actions. Section 5. The Reward of Courage. Gomaya's next moves are an absolute masterclass in facing down anxiety. First, he actively gathers his courage. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite the fear. Second, he creeps forward cautiously. He's not being reckless, he respects the potential danger but keeps moving anyway. And finally, the big reveal. He gets close enough to see the truth. He realizes the terrifying monster is literally just the wind playing a drum. In the light of truth and understanding, his fear just vanishes. But the story doesn't just end with a sigh of relief. Look at this incredible payoff. After conquering his fear and checking out the drum, Gautamaya discovers that the fleeing army didn't just leave instruments behind. Right there, right next to the very thing that terrified him, he finds an abundant supply of food and water. The source of his terror was quite literally hiding his salvation. By pushing through the panic, he found exactly what he needed to survive. Section 6, Life's Lesson. So, the crucial point is that this isn't just a story about a hungry jackal in a field. It's a profound metaphor for the human experience. The ancient wisdom of the Panchatantra boils this entire psychological journey down into one massive, undeniable truth. Only the brave succeed in life. When every single instinct screams at you to run away, it takes real courage to stand your ground. It takes bravery to investigate the unknown. And as Gautamaya learned, it's that exact courage that unlocks our greatest rewards and ultimate success. Let's bring this right back to your everyday life. Here are 3 major takeaways you can use right now. Number 1, don't fear the unknown. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's a threat. Number 2, investigate before you panic. When anxiety spikes, actively engage your logical brain. Ask questions. Find the drum and wind behind your modern worries. And number 3, remember that courage is the key to success. The solutions, the resources, and the growth you're looking for in your career or personal life are very likely hiding right next to the exact things that scare you the most. I want to leave you with this final provocative question. Which unknown fear will you face today? Is there a tough conversation you've been putting off? A new project that feels totally overwhelming? What's the weird noise in your life that's making you want to run the other way? Take a page out of Gautamaya's book today. Don't run. Creep forward cautiously, investigate the source, and claim the reward that's waiting just on the other side of your fear. Thanks so much for joining me for this analysis. Be brave and keep learning.